Hello guys, Beastie here with another YouTube video for you today. And as you realize, I haven't recorded a video and uploaded one in about a month. A little less than a month, but about a month. I haven't uploaded a single thing. And I have a couple excuses for that. Excuse one, I've been working hard in school. I had AP tests a couple weeks ago. I had AP tests. Was working real hard, finishing out my last little bit of senior year. Got a little bit of senioritis for schoolwork and YouTube. Didn't do too much of any of it. But I was working hard on some other stuff that will come to the YouTube channel in the hopefully near future. Hopefully within like a month and a half future. You will get the content I've been working hard on. And then also, I filmed a couple prediction videos, and I was listening to me, and I was like, I don't like how this video is turning out. I didn't like how it was turning out for one big reason, is I didn't feel accurate. Because you can't predict, to an extent, so much in advance, because injuries happen. So, like, I could say the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, which... spoiler, I'm going to do a slightly different prediction video than I had planned. I was going to predict game by game. I'm doing just my bold predictions and the people I think are going to win the division. And my MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and all that. I have all that predicted today. But I was going to do a game by game. So, if Patrick Mahomes gets hurt on the Chiefs, they don't win the Super Bowl. Like, I don't have them winning the Super Bowl. I have them losing a lot of games. And because there are tons of injuries, especially a lot of important injuries that happen throughout the year, we don't wish for them. They just happen. And so I didn't like that because I felt inaccurate and I didn't feel good about uploading a video I was not confident on because of injuries. I'm still going to do prediction videos game by game on a week-to-week basis, and on that point, I can give you more analysis. If I'm going through the season, I'm giving you basically the same analysis every week. Oh, I think this team's better than this team. I think this is a potential upset. It's literally the same exact explanation for why I have every single team winning. I will do a video, though, about where I think the best games are going to be per week. But once again, I'm a little sketchy about doing that one too, though, because once again, some of those games probably might not be good if there's injuries that happen that make a team significantly worse. But here we go. We're just going to do my bold predictions start out. I only have five bold predictions. One, which is probably the least bold, probably. Seahawks are going to be really, really good, I believe. I believe they're going to be one of the top teams in the NFC. They're probably my favorite team in the NFC right now to go far. I mean, I don't have them going to the Super Bowl. And you're going to question this later, but I think Seahawks, at least the third best team in the NFC. I think they're phenomenal, and I could easily see them having a 13-3, 14-2 record. Seahawks are that good. Broncos will probably sneak into the playoffs at a 6 or 7 seed. They were 7-9 last season. They won some games they should have. They were really close in a game against the Vikings. Drew Lock's only going to improve, even though how tough this offseason is going to be. Drew Lock could only improve under the same offense that he was in last year. And I really like what the Broncos are doing. They brought in Melvin Gordon. I think it's going to take a minute for Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler to start having a good season, but they could be solid. Courtland Sutton's one of my favorite receivers in the league. So I think the Broncos are going to go to the playoffs. Third bold prediction. Atlanta Falcons are too underrated, way too underrated. And it's possible. I'm not going to predict them to go this, but they could possibly make a Super Bowl push is how good that team is. That team is so good, and I think it's crazy how underrated they are. Like I said, I don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl push. I don't think they go to the Super Bowl. But the possibility of it being there, it's there. They could so possibly make a Super Bowl. If you guys don't remember, they beat the 49ers who were in the Super Bowl last year. Their offense is so explosive. They're giving me actually really big 49er vibes. Go back to not this past season, not the season before that, but the season before that. the 49ers, they brought in Jimmy Garoppolo at the end of the season. They went 6-0, closed out the season, and that's when I think people started to realize the 49ers are the real deal. Then Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt the next season, so they had a bad season. They got the second overall pick, grabbed Nick Bosa. But then when Jimmy Garoppolo came back the year after healthy, 49ers went to the Super Bowl. So I think that 6-0 finish really showed that was a Super Bowl team. And the Atlanta Falcons pretty much did the same thing. They started off like 0-7, and they finished out crazy. They finished off like the last 7 games like 6-1. And so it's like a very similar 49ers vibe. I think their defense is underrated. Their offense is crazy. I believe in Matt Ryan. That team can make a Super Bowl push. So that's a bold prediction. They are way too underrated. I think they make the playoffs, to be honest with you. I think they make the playoffs. Next bold prediction. Cowboys miss the playoffs. Dak is not a Cowboy after this season because they missed the playoffs. First of all, Cowboys, there's a couple reasons. First of all, they don't even have a quarterback situation completely figured out yet. If there's questions at quarterback position, usually that's a big red flag. Right now, there's still question marks. Dak has not signed the franchise tag. He's asking for a ton of money. He's not asking necessarily for that 45, but even the 35 is a lot of money. That's overpaying Dak Prescott. That is overpaying Dak. I could see, obviously Dak wants that much money. He thinks he's worth it. Just he's not. When you didn't even win the worst division in football last year. The Cowboys are in the worst division in football. 2 of the teams in the division had a top 5 pick. The Giants had the 4th overall pick, and the Redskins had the 2nd overall pick. And then you have the Eagles, who are always injured. Carson Wentz is always injured, and you can't win that division. If you can't win the division where 2 teams have a top 5 pick and you're playing the Philadelphia Eagles, the only team that's even any sort of competition at all, but your roster surpasses the Eagles by a ton, and you don't win the division, you don't deserve a $35 million contract. And another reason why he doesn't deserve the contract is because he needs stars around him to succeed. That's not necessarily a bad thing, just it means you're not worth $35 million. That's basically what it means. Like I said, Dak's a franchise quarterback, and I'm not arguing that Dak is a franchise quarterback. I just think he's worth like 30. 30 is like my max I would want to pay him. Like I really consider him more like 25 to 27 is where I really would like to pay him. But 30 is not bad. 30 is the max. But 35 is just too much, and you can't pay the other guys that he needs to succeed with. Like he needs Amari Cooper. He needs Zeke. If they already did pay him, which is crazy. I don't even know how they have the cap space to pay Dak a massive contract. But he needs other weapons. He needs help around him. He needs a solid defense. He needs a solid O-line. He needs Zeke. He needs Amari. Like I said, which isn't awful. He's still a franchise quarterback, needing all those things. It means he's not worth $35 million. And because they missed playoff, I think he's still going to be looking for that massive contract because I think he could put up good stats. I think he could put up around 45 to 5,000 yards. I think he can still put up those and put up a decent amount of touchdowns. Just if you can't win, you don't deserve the contract. It's simple as that. And I think because of his stat line, he's going to look for a massive contract again. And I don't think Cowboys are going to give it to him. But in the end, I think he's going to sign the franchise tag this year. And I think because they missed the playoffs, I don't think Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones are having that anymore. And I think he's done. And my last bold prediction, Colts win their division. They win their division. They have the Titans. The Texans are still solid after losing D-Hops. I have the Colts winning the division. Now, that being said, I'm going to quickly just say my division winners. Just go through each division. AFC East, I think the Buffalo Bills are going to win. They by far have the best squad in that whole division. And the Patriots, I think, are the only real threat this year. Even without Tom Brady, they're like the only real threat. The Dolphins are looking good. They're looking really good, and I have faith in the Dolphins to give the Dolphins like a year or two, and I think the Dolphins could be giving the Bills a run for their money. But Fitzpatrick, I don't trust to win that division. I don't trust Fitzpatrick in that sense. And then when Tua comes in, because Tua's going to start this year, he's the 5th overall pick, let's be real. Giants and Eli Manning, an organization like almost has never respected a quarterback more than Eli Manning, and they put Daniel Jones in week 3. So I think Tua's going to start. I don't think he's going to start week 3, but I think Tua is going to start eventually this season. And rookie quarterbacks, I don't trust a rookie quarterback to win a division either. I think Tua's going to be good. and I think he could be good this year. I don't think he's winning the division good. I think the Bills win that division. Chiefs, they won the Super Bowl and they've only gotten better. I definitely have the Chiefs winning. AFC North, not in competition. If there's any team that's going to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC that's not the Kansas City Chiefs, it's the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens they've got scary good. I mean, when they grabbed Calais Campbell from the Jaguars for like a 5th round pick, I was like, oh my God. They got J.K. Dobbins in the draft. They got, I was about to say DeAndre Swift. They got Patrick Queen on the side. And that's just what it was. It was crazy. Ravens are solid. Let's go to the Indianapolis Colts. I just think they're going to win. I have faith in Philip Rivers. And I think maybe besides the Titans, they have the best overall squad in the division. Let's go to the NFC East. I said the Cowboys weren't going to win. That means the Eagles are pretty much the only team left. I think the Giants are on the upswing. Redskins, I don't know if they're on the upswing or not. I got to see how Ron Rivera does. That's a bad organization to play for. But Ron Rivera is an improvement, and Nick Bosa should help. NFC West, I think the Seahawks are really, really good. I think the 49ers still win the division. I mean, that division's so good. How good that division is any 4 of those teams I think could win the division, go to the playoffs. Any 4 of those. Obviously, all 4 can't actually. All 4 could. I don't think it's going to happen, but all 4 could. The Cardinals are a playoff team good. I think the Rams definitely are. The Seahawks and the 49ers, I think, are potential Super Bowl candidates. I do have the 49ers. I think 49ers and Seahawks are like 13-3, 14-2, and I think the 49ers win. If everyone's healthy, 49ers win a Week 17 game to put themselves in the first seed in the whole NFC and winning the division. NFC North, Packers. I'm always sketchy about the Vikings, and the Bears and the Lions just aren't there. And the NFC South, oh my God. I mean, I freaking wrote the wrong team. I wrote the Buccaneers. I don't think the Buccaneers, that's the Saints. I think the Saints are going to win the NFC South. It's just I can't believe I wrote the Buccaneers. I'm excited for the Buccaneers, but I think they're going to have a very, very slow start. I'm talking real slow. They might start off the first 4 games with only 1 win. But at the same time, Tom Brady is doing those non-official workouts with his team, throwing passes, so the chemistry might be there. So it might not be as bad as I'm thinking, but they're going to have a slower start. Super Bowl I want to see this season is I want to see the Saints versus Colts. Drew Brees only went to 1 Super Bowl. I want to see him go back in the Colts. Philip Rivers never been to a Super Bowl, and I'd love to see Drew Brees go off against Philip Rivers, and I'd love to see Philip Rivers win it. So that would be my ideal one. Saints versus Colts. Colts winning it. That would be my ideal Super Bowl. But what I actually think is going to happen is I think it's the Saints Chiefs. And I think Drew Brees close, but Pat Mahomes pulls it off like he did against the 49ers. Now here we go. Here is my MVP offensive. I did the MVP, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, the comeback player of the year, coach of the year, and then the 2 rookies. My MVP is Drew Brees. Give him his first one. I think he's going to blow up this season. Give him his MVP. Offensive player of the year, a little bias comes into play. I picked Saquon Barkley, running back to the New York Giants. It's just a little bias, and I think Saquon's going to come back better than ever. Defensive player of the year, Bobby Wagner. I think the Seahawks are going to be crazy good. They might make a Super Bowl push, and I think he's right there winning defensive player of the year because he's the critical point of their defense. Next, comeback player of the year, Ben Roethlisberger. He was out. Steelers were a mess. Steelers, I think, make the playoffs this year with Big Ben back fully healthy. Coach of the year, I have Bill Belichick winning that. I think he might also make the playoffs. And without Tom Brady, I think that's huge. I think he's going to have a pretty good season as is. I'm going to give Coach of the Year Bill Belichick. If not, maybe Andy Reid. Maybe if the Bills have a killer season, maybe Sean McDermott. But Rookie of the Year, number 1 overall pick, Joe Burrow. I think he's going to turn that organization from 3-13 to maybe 6 wins this year, and I think that's going to be a huge improvement. I think he's going to put up decent stats, to be honest with you. I'm going to give it to Joe Burrow. Maybe Clyde might take it, or Tua might take it if the Dolphins start blowing up. Tua might take it if he gets in. But Joe Burrow, my original one. And defensive player, rookie of the year, I think the only thing it's questioned, I think it's Chase Young. There's going to be good ones. Patrick Queen, I think, is in a high contention for that spot because he's on the Baltimore Ravens, and I think he's going to start pretty much right away. But Chase Young. I mean, look what Nick Bosa did, and I think Chase Young's pretty much gonna make a similar impact. He's not gonna make the same impact because he's pretty much the only threat on that D line, unlike Nick Bosa, where that whole D line is stacked. But he's gonna make a very similar impact as Nick Bosa did. And that's it. That's my early season predictions. I'm gonna make another video, and just stay tuned for this channel within the next month, and you're gonna get some content. See y'all next time. Peace out, yo.